pretty good chunk, way better than it was doing. So that's in the right direction, I suppose. But yeah, I just gotta mute this. Where were we? What were we talking about? I forget.
Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man, but what specifically? Who was playing? Nick Cage was up for the role. He didn't get it. That's what we were talking about. Let's look at the box office. So 140 million budget, which is nuts, but the gross is 585 million. So obviously it did really well in the box office, and rightfully so. And I remember when this came out, because when this came out, everyone was like, "This is the best comic book movie." Period. And then The Dark Knight came out the week after.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was like, well, no, Iron Man, no more. It's Dark Knight all the way. But now I think overall people would put the MCU overall over the DCU. Beginning. But I do think, out of the movies I've seen anyway, that The Dark Knight probably is the best Batman movie as a whole. Not my favorite, but I think it's the best one. My favorite is Batman Forever, just because nostalgia. But, yeah, that's a fair gross worldwide. I mean, it's really good. I mean,
I don't know. I really like this new Batman.
I didn't see it, so I want to see it. I will watch it eventually. Iron Man 94%. Wow. I feel like when I looked this up on Rotten Tomatoes like when it came out, and it was like 88%. It went up 94, but it's fucking really good. So like I'm not even mad at that. Audience score 91%. It's excellent. It's excellent. I really do love this movie. It's my number one MCU for me personally anyway.
I really like it because it plays on the first comic of it. Man, I'm gonna give pretty good high reviews. I just really like it because it's crazy to see how Iron Man was like the beginning of the MCU, and like even at the end of Infinity Wars, that when he's hit the beginning Iron Man 1 there when he's making the suit.
Yeah, at the beginning.
That sound is at the end. That's the sound, and just knowing that sound, watching it now, is like, fuck, what's to come after that?
It's cool
and shit like that. There's one thing I want to say too, and it's cool that they used his old suit for the bad guy. Yeah,
they stole it and then they like built it around it and figured it out. I did like that, and it was a good, and I remembered the final fight sort of being lackluster, but watching it again, I actually thought it was really good and fun. I remembered the icing part when he goes up. He's like, "Did you fix the icing problem? What icing problem?" Jeff Bridges' suit gets all iced up and goes down, because it can't handle the altitudes.
Yeah, I feel like he. Okay, go ahead, bro.
No, I wasn't gonna. You go ahead.
I feel like he built it too quick.
Yeah, exactly, because he's just trying to get it done, and that's part of the character, too. It works with the character.
He's like, I don't care.
Because he steals the arc reactor from Tony Stark's heart, and it's like, he assumes he's just going to die, but he manages to get himself to the one that Pepper Potts saved. Good thing she saved that one, because otherwise he'd just die, he'd be dead. Yeah. But that sort of points to the fact that they're a good team, Pepper Potts and Tony Stark. But I have a bunch of notes, so I'll start getting into them. Old Marvel intro better than the new one. I like the old one. It shows just like the pictures. Now it's like fucking 45 seconds and it shows all the clips from the different movies. Like, I don't give a fuck. Just show it real quick. I like it showing the drawings, the little drawings of each character instead of fucking look at the universe we built. Look at all the shit. Look at it. Look at it.
The universe now.
It's a fucking 1 minute long intro. It's just not necessary. So I liked the intro in this one better. Because it was earlier. There's a MySpace reference, and I think Facebook was out at this point, but MySpace was still relevant, obviously.
Bebo.
Back in 2008. They didn't mention Bebo. Kind of weird, Yinsen and Tony don't exchange names earlier. Yeah, the guy Yinsen that Tony's in captive with in this cave, they talk a lot before they even give each other's names, which I guess, but I just think that's a little weird. Awesome opening and origin. It is one of my notes. I just love that opening scene. Is so fucking good when he gets captured, and then they go the flashback and they show how we got to that point.
Oh, yeah.
But they start off with him getting blown up right away. Action's good, and then the slow build up of how is he gonna get out of this cave, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. Wouldn't he ask Tony about the robot leg that he saw him using? Yes. So there's this part where they can see into the cave that they're trapped in, the people that have held them captive, these terrorists or whatever, and there's a part where they see him like using a robot leg, and they just don't say that. Wouldn't they be like, hey, look, I saw the robot leg. So if they just didn't have that scene, they just didn't show that clip, and they just show them coming in and like about to put the hot coals on Yinsen or whatever, they would have just went right to that scene. Instead, it would have made more sense to me. But that's just a nitpick. It's fine. It's fine. But it's just, if you just would have cut that one bit, it would have made more sense. To me anyway, guy that gets close to Stark should have shot and crashed the suit. So yeah, Tony Stark's in the suit. He's busting out the cave. He's like killing a bunch of these bad guys, and there's one that goes like right up to him. And this is the earlier suit. There's all these like cracks and stuff. So I'm like, wouldn't he try to shoot in the cracks or something? Yeah. But it's just for I get why it is for the comedy. It's sort of like a comedic kill because he shoots and immediately it ricochets and then kills him. Yeah. There's a mix of practical and CGI effects. I already said that, but I like that a lot. Mean to robot assist. I don't like how mean he is to the robots. I feel bad for them, even though they're robots. It's like he's treating them like shit. I know. So that's one of my notes.
You're just trying to care.
Yeah, you're just trying to help. You're being mean to your robot friends. But why doesn't Iron Man listen to Jarvis about the ice when he flies really high? I guess that's part of his character. He's just like, fuck the rules, basically. But like, he's smart. He knows that he should listen to the computer, I think, deep down. But he's like, don't fly too high. You're going to get iced. And it happens. But of course, he just barely is able to save himself. But I mean, you can't really have the rest of the series without Iron Man. So obviously he's not going to fucking die. But
he just dies.
That would be crazy.
Have to find a new one.
Stan Lee as Hugh Hefner in a cameo is really funny. Because it's like high half, and it's Stan Lee with a bunch of beautiful women. I think that's a funny bit. Gwen Paltrow says no to dance, but Tony makes her, which is, and they're like love interests with each other, but it's sort of, I'm sort of thinking like the power dynamic is a little weird because he's her boss. So that's just sort of my note here. Yeah. And it's like, she said no, but he's like, fucking dance with me, basically. And they do, to the movie's credit, they acknowledge it. She like acknowledges that it made her feel weird, so do a little credit, but still, just fuck Tony Stark sometimes. He's just kind of a dick. That's part of the character though, so I get it. And he does grow, I think, throughout the films.
Yeah, he does.
That's a big part of it too. Why does Air Force want to destroy the thing that helped him? I guess because it's in their airspace and you have to just kill stuff that's in your airspace. But they know that the thing just like helped them out. Like they killed these terrorists that are destroying families. And they're like, oh, what is this thing? Let's shoot it. Because we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. Let's shoot it. And I always think that that's a stupid reasoning. But
I think what's going on now.
it makes, yeah, well, exactly. Let's shoot the aliens because we don't know what they are. Yeah. Or the UFOs, whatever.
Whatever it is.
Why does Air Force want to destroy this thing? I already read that. Paltrow's reasoning for wanting to quit is dumb. Because she's like, what, you want to save the world? I'm out of here. But then, to be fair, then Tony Stark explains, like, hey, I'm doing this to better the Earth. And if you really care about me, you'll support me through this. So that part, I was like, okay. They had to have a little conflict, I guess. But I still think she would have realized a little quicker, like, okay, this is the right thing to do. But she has to be convinced. I don't think she should have needed to be convinced. Why doesn't Jeff Bridges immediately come look at Paltrow's screen when she's downloading the secret files? Because there's a part where Gwyneth Paltrow's sticking in a thumb drive, she's getting all these files to find out that he's the bad guy. And he comes in and, like, she's acting a little suspicious. So you think he would have come in and been like, looked immediately and saw it. But he gives her just enough time to get it off the screen, of course, right? Yeah. So she can get out of there. And she just rips the fucking drive out. I noticed that. She didn't hit eject. That's not realistic. That's one of my notes. She just grabs the fucking thumb drive right out of the computer. It's a nitpick, but it's like one thing was like, that's not how that works. But Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave. That's one of my favorite lines of the movie. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave. Jeff Bridges yells it at this guy. I just love the delivery of that. I just have good line as a note for that. But why did Jeff Bridges lift that car with the famine? And I guess he's evil. But it's like, it's not necessary. Like, focus on what you're trying to focus on, fighting Tony Stark. But he's like, no, let's fuck with his family. Don't get it. I could have done without that. It's just so Tony Stark could save him, I guess. But still. Yeah. It is insane that Tony Stark doesn't die. He gets fucked up so hard. It doesn't make any sense. But that's fine. It's a movie, and he can't die because it's the fucking Iron Man series. But still, it's a little unrealistic. But then again, it's a superhero movie. It's not going to be totally realistic. Iron Man's suit isn't made of iron. It's made of titanium. I forget what he says, but titanium, it's not titanium carbonate or something like that. But not necessarily that. Or alloy. It was maybe something like that. But it's not iron. That's my point. How did government agent guy not die? I think it's Coulson again. Because, yeah, the big robot comes in and they show him, like, smushing all these guys. And I was like, wasn't he right there? Wouldn't he have gotten smushed too? The Coulson. I guess, but they didn't show it. They didn't show it well enough. Again, most of these notes are nitpicks, but that's just something I noticed when I was watching the movie. I am Iron Man. Good ending. It's an iconic ending when he's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna read these cards to cover the truth. I'm just gonna admit to it. I am Iron Man. And then the fucking song plays. It's a good ending. End credit stinger. Avengers hype is my last note because they set it up with Samuel Jackson. Thing. He's like, I'm building a team or whatever, and that leads on to the next movie, which is Incredible Hulk. I think is the next one that was made.
It was Iron Man 2.
Oh, maybe Iron Man 2, but
it goes Iron Man, or it goes Iron Man 2, Thor.
I thought, okay, maybe you know better than me. I thought it was Iron Man 2 maybe came after Hulk, but...
And then, I don't know, man.
I'm looking it up. Iron Man...
I don't know, I didn't see the Hulk
2 release. Because I know that Incredible Hulk is 2009.
Okay.
It was after Incredible Hulk, pretty sure.
Oh,
let's just make sure.
Well, maybe they don't got the rights to it.
Incredible Hulk.
Did they got the rights? Disney? To which Hulk?
They got... The rights are really confusing. I forget. Fox might have some of the rights to Hulk.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't... Yeah, 2000... This was 2008, too.
See, that's the one I didn't
So this
see.
is the same year as Iron Man, actually. So that's cool. But yeah, end credit stinger, that's how it ends, sort of. And that's the end of what I have to say. That's all my notes.
I gotta watch it.
You've seen that one, haven't you?
That's the...
With Edward Norton. It's the only one with Edward Norton as the Hulk.
I don't think I watched it.
Oh, it's decent.
That's the one that...
He becomes, or Mark Ruffalo is him.
In Avengers.
Yeah, because it's another case of he wanted more money. He wanted to direct some of the films, and they didn't want to give him that much control or money.
That's probably why I went Iron Man 2, Thor.
And that's why there's not Incredible Hulk 2, Incredible Hulk 3, because there was originally supposed to be. There's originally supposed to be a bunch of them,
yeah.
but then it got canceled because of Edward Norton, basically. And then there's let's get Mark Ruffalo and just put him in all the adventure movies and shit, basically. And like he's in Thor Ragnarok. He's just like the side now, yeah. And he's in She-Hulk again as the side character. It is shitty. They sort of fucked with that character a lot. It's too bad. But the best Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. The Incredible Hulk TV show. 1970s, baby. I love that show. It's awesome.
I say they're releasing a part of the Phase 1. See,
this is Phase 1. It was the second movie in Phase 1. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When did Captain America come out? Because this is what I think it is. I think it was Iron Man, then Incredible Hulk, then Captain America, then Thor.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Captain America. I'm just curious. We're just looking.
I just going what Disney says because I watched it through Disney.
2011. So Thor maybe came before Captain America.
Okay.
But let's look because I don't really remember. Thor release date. Not God of Thunder or Love and Thunder. Thor 1. Let's put 1. There's so many Thor movies now. Yeah. 2011, so it was after Captain America.
Fuck, man. Fuck, we're so lost in it now, man. It's unbelievable.
Oh, there's so many. It's crazy. It's still almost too much. It's so interconnected. But yeah, Do you have any last comments to say about the movie?
No, I liked it. I basically said what I wanted to say on it.
Okay, good. I'm good too. I said everything I want to say. It's just really good. It's
just
awesome.
Very good.
From the beginning to the end, a never dull moment. Lots of good laughs, chemistry between Gwyneth Paltrow and Tony Stark specifically. But all the characters have pretty good chemistry together.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, it was just a lot of fun to watch again, and I wanted to go back and watch. And I'm solidifying. It's my favorite MCU movie. I liked Thor 2, but not as much as this. Iron Man, I'm giving it 9. I'm giving it 9 out of 10. I really liked it. 9 out of 10 Doug's. What do you want to give it, Kross LePage?
I'll give it the same thing.
9 out of 10 Kross LePages. Okay, and that's that. End of the review. And then we'll